Today, we're going to explore 4 unhelpful habits that can erode the respect others hold for you. These aren't just mere quirks. They are actions that can significantly tarnish your reputation and harm your connections with people. Yes, everyone has their fair share of flaws, but the behaviors we'll be discussing today carry a weighty impact as they touch the essence of our interactions with others, potentially derailing promising friendships or professional ties. I want to make this discussion personal, so I'll share some of my own missteps. I've stumbled often, learning valuable lessons from those experiences. While these anecdotes may be vulnerable and candid, I believe that by discussing them, we can collectively recognize, confront, and overcome these detrimental habits, paving the way toward a life filled with dignity and reverence. We'll also draw inspiration from both biblical teachings and the profound insights of C.S. Lewis, who provides clarity on moral behavior. Let's begin with habit number 1, gossiping. This is one of those behaviors that many partake in, but few openly acknowledge. In my earlier years, I was deeply entrenched in this habit, and it took some hard lessons to grasp just how destructive it could be. Back in college, my friends and I reveled in gossip, dissecting every aspect of others' lives as if it were sport. Initially, it felt harmless and even exciting, creating a bond between us as we shared secrets. However, the reality is that gossip is a toxic activity that shatters trust and undermines respect. Let me share an experience from that time. There was a girl in our circle, let's call her Emily. She had a unique charm and was a bit introverted. One day, I learned she had developed feelings for someone who seemed utterly unattainable. Instead of respecting her privacy, I shared this news with my peers. What followed was heartbreaking. The story spread quickly, and soon Emily found out. The look of pain on her face was unforgettable as she realized that her innermost feelings had become fodder for our amusement. As a result, she withdrew from our group altogether. This incident is a powerful reminder of Proverbs 16:28, which states, "A perverse person stirs up conflict, and a gossip separates close friends." C.S. Lewis also admonishes against such behavior, highlighting the importance of integrity and the need to foster genuine relationships built on trust and respect. So, as we reflect on our actions and the impact they have on others, let's commit to leaving behind toxic habits like gossip. Together, we can cultivate a more virtuous and fulfilling life, one that brings honor to ourselves and respect from those around us. Grab a cup of coffee, relax, and let's continue this journey together. When we contemplate the teachings of the Bible alongside the wisdom of C.S. Lewis, we are reminded of the importance of our words and actions. Scripture tells us, "Let your yes be yes and your no, no." Matthew 5:37, emphasizing the necessity of honesty and trust in relationships. Both the Bible and Lewis guide us to focus on our own integrity and refrain from becoming entangled in the affairs of others through gossip. Gossip not only squanders time, but also tarnishes the well of trust that is essential for any relationship. Engaging in this kind of conversation transforms our social environments into fields of suspicion and betrayal. As C.S. Lewis pointed out in his writing, it is not our feelings or beliefs that we must control, but our actions. By remaining silent, unless we truly need to speak, we can cultivate an atmosphere of respect and integrity. Reflecting on my own experiences, I learned this lesson painfully. At my first job, a coworker, let us refer to him as John, was a dedicated worker, but somewhat solitary. When I overheard that he was grappling with a serious health issue, instead of honoring his privacy, I carelessly shared this information with a few others, believing it would spark conversation. John discovered my breach of trust, and his expression of hurt and disappointment was a clear message. He had counted on me to keep his trust, and I had let him down. That moment shifted the dynamic of our relationship irreparably. I lost his respect, and rightly so. This experience serves as a poignant reminder. We must honor the privacy of others. Everyone faces their own struggles and vulnerabilities. By turning someone's personal challenges into gossip, we not only show a lack of respect for them, but also reveal our own lack of integrity. Rather than engaging in destructive dialogues, we should strive for uplifting conversations that empower and encourage. Additionally, let's consider the second habit, being unreliable. This tendency resonates deeply, as it can create significant damage to our relationships. Reliability is crucial, whether in personal lives or workplace dynamics. If we become known for our inconsistency, we invite a loss of respect. I can recall a time in my early 20s when I earned a reputation among my friends for being unpredictable. I frequently made plans only to cancel at the last moment or simply not appear. I perceived these actions as harmless, but they culminated in a defining moment. A close friend, let's call her Sarah, invested enormous effort into planning her birthday party, one she had been organizing for weeks. I had assured her of my presence, but missed the occasion without an explanation. Both the teachings from the Bible and insights from C.S. Lewis encourage us to uphold trust, reliability, and respect in our words and actions. When we nurture these values, we create a supportive environment for ourselves and those around us, fostering relationships built on a sturdy foundation of mutual respect. On the day of an important event, I became preoccupied with other matters and ultimately decided to skip it. I neglected to inform her until hours after everything had begun. When I did call, I could sense the disappointment in her voice. Though she didn't express much, I knew I had let her down. This strain marked a turning point in our friendship. She stopped inviting me to gatherings, and we gradually drifted apart. In the realm of faith, this mirrors the teachings of the Bible, where we are reminded in Matthew 5:37, "Let your yes be yes, and your no, no." Committing to promises is about honoring others. Failing to follow through communicates that our word lacks weight. It diminishes the respect we show for the time and effort others invest. This principle also resonates with the insights of C.S. Lewis, who emphasized the importance of reliability. He often illustrated that the integrity of our promises reflects our character and beliefs. In my early professional life, I made the mistake of overcommitting and under-delivering, having a misperception that charm could overshadow my shortcomings. A candid performance review from my boss, however, served as a wake-up call. My talent was evident, but my unreliability was problematic. Reliability extends beyond attendance. It encompasses consistency and integrity. Each time a promise is made, it requires stewardship of one's reputation. Deceiving those around you, even unintentionally, erodes their trust. So how can we address this issue? Begin by being true to yourself regarding your capabilities. Avoid overpromising. If you make a commitment, fulfill it. And if circumstances change, communicate openly. By valuing the time of others, you not only reaffirm your reliability, but also cultivate the respect and trust of those around you. This uncomplicated yet profound practice can enhance your relationships dramatically. As for the habit of interrupting others, this is a pervasive issue that many engage in without realizing its implications. Frequently, cutting others off conveys a message that what we have to say is of greater importance, disregarding their voice. This habit not only breeds frustration, but also leaves others feeling undervalued. Reflecting on my past, I recall an instance at a job where I consistently interrupted during brainstorming meetings, mistaking it for enthusiasm. I learned the hard way that such behavior actually signaled a lack of respect for my colleagues' contributions. In essence, valuing others' words and allowing them the space to express themselves fosters a more respectful and inclusive environment, echoing the teachings of both the Bible and C.S. Lewis on the significance of compassion and integrity in our interactions. In my interactions with others, I've often found myself cutting people off mid-sentence, thinking I was being assertive. However, my colleagues had a different perspective. During one particularly heated meeting, my manager took the opportunity to address me directly. "You need to let others finish their thoughts," she stated plainly. "It seems like you're not really listening. You're just biding your time to speak." I felt a wave of embarrassment wash over me, but it didn't stop there. Following the meeting, a coworker discreetly mentioned to me, "Do you even notice how dismissively you come across? It seems as if your ideas are the only ones worth hearing." That realization struck me deeply. While I didn't intend to be dismissive, it was clear that was the impression I was leaving. Interrupting others is more than mere rudeness. It signifies a lack of self-control and respect. The Bible teaches us about the importance of listening and understanding. Proverbs 18:13 states, "To answer before listening, that is folly and shame." The wisdom in these words aligns with the teachings of C.S. Lewis, who emphasized the value of humility and the significance of truly understanding others before responding. In one of his essays, he articulates how real conversation requires a generous spirit and a willingness to listen. I also vividly recall a moment at a social gathering when a friend was sharing a deeply personal narrative about his struggles with anxiety. Halfway through, I eagerly interjected with my own story, believing it would provide him with solace. Instead, he looked at me and said, "Can I finish?" The atmosphere shifted instantly. What I thought was a gesture of empathy was, in reality, taking away from his moment. That night, I came to an important realization. Listening goes beyond merely processing words. It entails being genuinely present and allowing others the space to express their feelings unreservedly. By interrupting, I was steering the conversation back to myself rather than honoring his experience. To overcome this habit, it's essential to practice active listening. When someone is speaking, truly focus on their words. Don't just wait for your turn to chime in. Allow them to share their thoughts completely before you respond. This simple yet impactful practice demonstrates respect and fosters stronger connections. It's crucial to understand that interrupting implies you value your words above theirs. It cultivates an environment of mutual respect, echoing the biblical wisdom and Lewis's teachings on our interactions. So the next time you find yourself in a conversation, challenge yourself to listen intently. You may discover not only how much more you can learn, but also how much more respect you can earn from those around you. Living in a mindset filled with negativity can erode respect and damage the connections we hold dear. I once found myself entrenched in a cycle of chronic discontent, mistakenly believing that voicing complaints was a way to connect with others through shared frustrations. However, I soon realized how harmful this tendency truly was. Let me share a personal experience. A few years back, I was stuck in a job that felt overwhelming. The demands were high, the leadership chaotic, and I constantly felt unappreciated. Instead of seeking constructive solutions, I vented my frustrations to anyone willing to listen: colleagues, friends, and even family. At first, they were sympathetic, nodding in agreement and sharing their own grievances, creating what I thought was camaraderie. Yet, this camaraderie faded over time. I began to notice a shift. People started to distance themselves from me. My conversations became shorter, and I was excluded from after-work gatherings. The breaking point came when a dear friend told me, "I care about you, but your negativity is draining." The scriptures offer profound wisdom on this topic. Philippians 2:14 reminds us, "Do everything without grumbling or arguing." This verse highlights the importance of maintaining a positive spirit, which not only impacts our mindset, but also shapes how others view us. Constant complaining signals that we prefer to dwell on problems rather than seeking solutions, a trait that can be off-putting. Reflecting on another instance, during a group project in college, one of my teammates, whom I'll refer to as Mike, was a relentless critic. Every meeting revolved around his complaints about the workload, the incompetence of our professor, and the futility of the assignment. His negative outlook spread like wildfire, sapping the enthusiasm from our team. Instead of striving to deliver our best work, we were simply eager to finish the project. This experience opened my eyes to how my own complaining could similarly impact others. Recognizing this, I decided it was time for a change. I shifted my mindset toward gratitude and began focusing on solutions. Rather than lamenting my job's challenges, I started pinpointing specific issues and brainstorming actionable steps. When I felt undervalued, I sought constructive feedback and advocated for a raise. When management seemed disorganized, I took the initiative to improve processes wherever I could. Although these changes didn't occur instantly and required effort, the outcomes proved to be remarkably positive. C.S. Lewis once stated, "You can make anything by writing," emphasizing the power of our words and attitudes. By reframing my perspective and choosing gratitude over grievance, I discovered a path to uplifting not only myself but those around me. In my journey of understanding, I realized that a change in my perspective led to a transformation in my relationships. As I aligned my actions with the teachings of the Bible, specifically Philippians 2 verse 3, which encourages us to do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, I found that respect, once elusive, began to return. I evolved into someone whom others not only trusted but sought out for collaboration, fostering a sense of community rather than isolation. C.S. Lewis also emphasizes the importance of humility and unselfishness in his writings. He teaches us that true greatness lies in selflessness, urging us to seek the well-being of those around us. If you found this message inspiring, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might benefit from these insights. Let's commit to living with deeper respect for one another. Until we meet again, embrace strength and resilience in your journey.